Hi guys, Shrintal from Aging Fitness. Today I'd like to share with you guys on how I design my own training plan. Before I start, my plan is heavily based on the book The Muscle and Strength Pyramid. So if you haven't checked out that book, I strongly suggest you to check out this video in which I summarize the 7 key principles of resistance training. Now let's get started. So let's first look at my overall training goal. I have 3 main training goals. The first one is to build my upper body strength, especially in my bench press and weighted chin-ups. The second one is to improve my marathon running speed. And third one is general hypertrophy. Now let's take a look at my training program. I'm having a 4-day training week, which I train upper body on Monday and Thursday, my lower body and some accessory movements on Tuesday and Friday, and I'll rest on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now let's take a look at a few parameters of my program. For strength development, it is important to do high intensity exercises, such as those with reps fewer than 6 and below, and which is why I'm doing 3 sets of 5 reps for both the bench press and the weighted chin-ups. I could do more high intensity exercises, but as I have a history of shoulder and elbow injuries, 3 sets is all I'm willing to do for the time being. Instead, most of my exercises will be in the rep ranges between 8 to 15. And although that is more ideal for hypertrophy, increased muscle size will also improve strength eventually. Now let's take a look at my volume. So most of my muscle group gets hit between the 10 to 20 set ranges, with a few exceptions. So I will adjust my volume as I'm able to better accommodate my training intensities. For smaller muscles such as my bicep and triceps, I'm doing more because I just don't think those compound movements can target them very well. So I do have a few isolation exercises that's just for my bicep and triceps to be performed after my leg days. When it comes to variations, I've assigned 3 to 4 exercises for each of the muscle groups. For example, for my chest development, I have the flat pressing movement. I also have the incline pressing movement, as well as the lateral adduction movement, which target chest differently. And it's important to have those variations if you want to optimize your growth. And similarly, for my deltoid development, I have both dumbbell lateral raises and cable lateral raises, because those two have different force curve. For the dumbbell lateral raises, it is the most difficult, challenging at the top of your movement when your arms are parallel to the floor. Whereas for the cable lateral raises, it is most challenging when your shoulder is at a stretch position at the bottom, and it gets increasingly easier as you reach the top. Next, on frequency. As you can see, I hit my muscle groups at least twice a week, and I try to keep them as far as possible in order to ensure there's sufficient time for recovery before I hit them again. And also in terms of the progression that I use, I mainly use the linear progression and the double progression for my workout. While linear progression is more appropriate for beginner, since I just recovered from a major illness, I think it is quite appropriate for me for the time being, before I shift to more intermediate and advanced programming. So just an example on linear progression. For my bench press and the chin-up, which use linear progression, I add 2.5 kg of load to each of these exercises each week. And I continue to do so until I fail to perform them. And that's the time when I should do a deload, in which I decrease my load by 10%, and at the same time I would also decrease a little bit of the volume to make sure my body gets sufficient recovery. As for the double progression, it has mainly 2 variables: the rep ranges and the intensity, which is the load. So for instance, for my lateral raises, let's say I do 3 sets of 12 reps of 5 kg lateral raises on my first session. I would only progress to the next weight, which is 7.5 kg, when I'm able to perform 3 sets of 15 reps. And this in reality takes quite a bit of time because shoulder is such a small muscle and it doesn't get strong that fast compared to bench press. And you think about the increase in percentage terms, a 2.5 kg increase in your 5 kg dumbbell is over 50%, whereas for bench press, you already can perform, let's say, close to 100 kg of bench press, and that 2.5 kg increment is only 2.5%. Hence, double progression is more appropriate for single joint exercises such as biceps, triceps, shoulders, as well as unilateral exercises, which I'm gonna talk about next. So as you can see, for my leg workout, I'm only doing unilateral exercises because my training is tailored towards marathon running. As you know, marathon is a single leg sport. It makes more sense for me to perform single leg exercises to make sure that there is more carryover to the sports that I want to improve on. And that's also the reason why I'm not performing the traditional barbell squat or the traditional deadlift, because there's just not that much carryover to running. And from experience, those exercises sometimes can make my running speed a little bit slower. Yeah, so that's how I design my training plan. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.